Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Well, I want to talk to you about the importance that many of you have reached out and taken advantage of a mid-year tax savings protection makeover. And when I say protection, I think of Ron and Mary, and I think of another client, Mary. Ron and Mary are from Orlando, Florida. The other Mary, who's single, is actually from Denver, Colorado. And they both had the same two heard the same two things and had the same two initiatives. And I'll just read to you. Concerned about the market and the tax load we're carrying. That's what Ron had shared about he and his wife, Mary. And he's staring at RMDs like in another year, a required minimum distribution. And did such a great job of socking away money into these IRAs, he's going to have a pretty significant tax liability because he's still working and actually enjoys what he's doing. So to then have to take the RMDs from these IRAs on top of his taxable income is actually pushing him into a way higher tax bracket. But there's good news. He was actually able to learn, and I'll teach you many of these techniques this coming Tuesday. And they are all going to apply a little differently. And everyone obviously has different qualifications. But the thing we know to be true is people are really looking for having confidence in the protection of their money and from their taxes. And I want to teach you that the market is way overpriced. And there's ways that you can have upside without downside, and actually ways to have no direct stock market correlation and get solid 8, 10, 12 to 15% returns without having any direct stock market correlated risk or having no downside, but only upside. And here's the key, learning how to get it tax free. You see, Ron and Mary were able to, by eliminating the taxes, improving their returns, cutting their risk, and cutting their costs, got a 4% higher net return average. And over the next 10 years, that translates into a 4 times, in other words, 300,000 turned into 1.2 of excess by just having the ability to learn how to discover and uncover their hidden wealth. I think about Mary from Colorado, who's in her early 60s, and her goals are simple. She said, you know what, the bulk of my money is like where everybody else is worried about it, in these tax-deferred, what you call, Chuck, ticking tax time bombs. And I want to know how to keep this money safe from the market, but also from Uncle Sam. And obviously very worried, she made a distinct point, very worried about the new administration and the loss of her savings. So, I just don't want to run out of money. So when she learned how to have upside without downside, learned how to cut her risk, improve her returns, get out of these retail mutual funds, move this 401k over, even while she was still working, it's called an in-service rollover, so you have control. Wow, folks, take the time to learn how to discover and uncover your hidden wealth. Don't buy into this Biden promises that's turning our country, as I talked about last week, into this entitlement dependence, right? Remain financially independent. Don't get swept away into this, entitlement dependence like half of our country. In fact, an interesting article, I sent it out last week. For the first time in history, more than half of Americans would be on the federal dole. It's buying votes, folks, and it's unfortunate because you and I are going to get stuck with the price tag. I want to teach you how to avoid it. Insulate your income. Insulate your income and your assets from the IRS, and protect your money with upside without downside or no direct stock market correlated risk. I'll teach you how. Go to retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com, and understand the significance of getting tax savings planning done with a tax savings and market protection makeover in 2021. Here's to you finding your hidden wealth.